Hello and welcome to the High Sky Podcast. I am here with my co-host Redaquil
Sup?
and my co-host Razzy.
Hey,
And this is episode 1 of the High Sky Podcast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So obviously you guys should know us. We are a part of the Skies clan, and this is our podcast. So you don't have to keep your mic muted.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted you to finish the intro.
All right. So this is just gonna be a little podcast that we'll be doing. Hopefully an episode one episode once a week. So basically, what you guys should be expecting is just to have the good time. Each episode, we're just gonna be talking about a specific topic, or one or two specific topics each episode. Today was just like the introduction, and we'll be talking a little bit about the MCU and what our thoughts are about it and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, I guess we could talk about a little bit. So Endgame. What do you think? How do you think? How do you think that would have ended if Thanos ended up decapitating Captain America?
I would have thought that like all the characters would have lost hope for whatever reason. Honestly, because like in almost every Avengers movie, Cap takes the lead. He's the one who tells everyone what to do. So
Mhm.
if he died, then what would they do? Would they just go out?
Yeah, I feel
fight
like maybe they would have.
over?
They probably would have lost again against Thanos, probably, since he was Captain America was one of the people that actually like beat back Thanos with the whole Mjolnir thing and all
Yeah.
that. He would have probably killed Thor, if I'm being honest, because he
Most-
had him pinned down.
Yeah, and too, because like, especially for if they were to see like Cap decapitated, because like since like his first movie, he's kind of been like a symbol of hope.
Definitely.
And if he would have died, they would have lost all hope, and,
Mhm.
probably would have lost.
Yep. And then we had that. I have another thought. What was it? Remember when? Do you guys remember when, like that whole Soul Stone thing, where Nat freaking what's it called? Sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe you just think it would have been possible, or it would have made more sense if she came back after Hulk snapped.
I mean, no, because she wasn't a part of the snap. Just like Gamora wasn't a part of the snap. Like Thanos killed Gamora in Infinity War, so she wasn't like a part of the snap.
Yeah, the only reason Gamora came back was because they went back in time. You gotta
Yeah, I
remember
guess
that.
that makes sense. Speaking of Gamora, actually, we never get to see Gamora at the end of the original film.
No.
But they did release they made that or they released that extended scene, or the deleted scene. She ended up going away somewhere. I'm not too sure
Yeah.
exactly where, but she definitely wasn't on the ship with Thor and all of them, so not too sure what's going on with her.
Well, I feel from what I've heard, they once like I think they might bring her back for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's just from what I've heard. The source could be completely wrong, but
I
they
wonder.
That's just probably gonna be like a memory trip, just to like get her memories back for no reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder what's gonna like how that's gonna impact, since she's like the older Gamora. I wonder how that's gonna impact the
Younger.
third Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, cause that's Gamora before she met the Guardians.
Yeah, yeah,
That was Gamora when she was still trying to like break off from Thanos.
yeah,
in
yeah,
general.
yeah. So, anything else, like
I
MCU
feel like
wise?
the deleted scene they had with like, where they had like everyone kneeling from Tony's death. I feel like they should have kept that in.
Yeah,
'Cause
that would have been.
it would have been more impactful too, because like everyone was affected by it, especially Captain Marvel. She hasn't been around for long, and like she knew like at that
Yeah,
moment.
he was a big like impact on the Avengers and stuff like that. By the way, audience, I apologize if you can hear anything in the background. Some family members are over, so
Yeah.
it's gonna ruin the podcast a little bit, but we'll have to stick through it. And then we had that whole. All right. We had that whole. Excuse me for one moment. Oh yeah, that scene where Tony snapped. They had him go through that whole thing like Thanos did with young Gamora. They had Tony or see his daughter as an older person.
Yeah.
They should have kept that in. I feel like they should have kept that in too.
I mean, I kind of watched a little. I haven't really watched the full scene, but I feel like it's kind of good that they did cut it because it kind of just gave off a weird vibe. Plus, I don't think it really would have made sense. I guess it kind of would, but at the same time, it wouldn't make sense for him to see his daughter older when like we haven't been fully introduced. We haven't been fully introduced to Morgan. Yeah, we just kind of saw her 5 years later, and they haven't fully developed their character yet.
Yeah. Do you guys think his wife, I forget her name, but do you think she'll try and carry on his legacy, or do you think Morgan, Morgan, do you think Morgan is going to try and carry on his legacy?
I feel like it definitely Morgan, because I think it's most of a like behind the scenes stuff. Like they all like all the actors signed contracts to certain movies, so like Endgame was kind of the last movie for a lot of the characters. So like
Captain America, I know. Yeah, Captain America. Yeah, Tony Stark.
Yeah, and like his wife kind of like I think her contract is probably over, and like I feel like if this is just my personal opinion, I don't think her character can last without Tony.
Yeah, that is true. That makes sense. Yeah.
Because most of her character is built off of Tony.
Yeah. Speaking of Tony, though, I was reading something about that new movie that he's in, Doolittle. You guys heard about that?
Yeah.
I was reading that if that movie ends up flopping, he could potentially come back to the MCU.
Oh, that won't make sense.
I guess that would make sense. But
for me personally, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But for me personally, I feel like Marvel, like Death in Marvel, he should stay dead. Because I say that because like death in like superhero stuff usually doesn't mean anything. Especially like we in Infinity War, we all pretty much knew they were coming back, but like it was still an emotional impact because like how like the execution was like we know that we're coming back, but like the emotion and like the tension is all there. But like the only death that really kind of mattered was Quicksilver when he died in Age of Ultron. But the thing is, he was pretty much forgotten after that movie.
Yeah.
He never like Wanda should be the most affected by it, but it was Hawkeye that was, which is just stupid.
Wanda actually ended up being or she ended up looking like one of the strongest Avengers in Endgame because of how she dealt with Thanos in that one scene.
Mm-hmm.
She almost killed him, which was pretty surprising. But
yeah, I thought they showed more of her power off in Infinity War too.
Yeah. But back to Tony. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't make sense if he ended up coming back because you can't just like. I guess in a way they could do it if they used the time machine. They went back and got maybe the Tony from Infinity War or like a later date or an earlier date maybe as I should say.
Yeah, but again, I felt that'd just be stupid because like his death in the movie actually truly meant something because like at that point we know he's not coming back, and it was a great way to wrap up his story. Like he was the one that fully started the MCU.
Yeah,
and he's the one. And then like Endgame was kind of like the last movie that whole saga.
A good wrap up for the Infinity Saga. Yeah. But yeah. Anything else? Maybe?
Death should be more in Marvel movies. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Maybe not Avenger movies, but definitely Marvel.
Yeah. What do you guys think about? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, but especially with like the Black Widow movie, that was pretty much announced. That was announced before. I think I think it was before or after Endgame, but they did say it takes place between like Civil War. But at the same time, I can get why some people would be slightly confused with the fact that because people can think that she's back, but she's not because like we all saw her dying in Endgame. But
Yeah.
I feel like she's been long overdue for an origin story because like the first time we saw her was in Iron Man 2. That was kind of like somewhat of an origin, and then we saw more in Age of Ultron, but she never got her own movie until this year.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to wait on that, and hopefully that would be good.
What do you guys think about the upcoming movies, like Black Panther 2 and all that? And
I don't think they need a Black Panther 2. I really don't.
I wonder who the. I know. I've heard that Doctor Doom is gonna be the villain in that movie.
That cannot happen.
They will. That's
Doctor Doom is specifically set for the Fantastic Four, and they
Yeah.
blew that movie.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
but like since like the MCU does have they fully have the rights to like the X-Men and the Fantastic
Mhm.
Four. Hopefully they actually get like a good director and like a good writing team to actually make a good origin story because all the Fantastic movies, and there's been 4, they've all sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Silver Surfer was actually pretty good.
yeah, like that one and the 2005 one, they were somewhat liked, but like all together they're not really good movies.
Yeah, they weren't canon. They weren't good enough to be canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just need the right cast for that too.
Yeah.
I feel
and-
It's gonna be a thing.
yeah.
But like with like because I feel like if you watch the Fantastic Four movies, they just seem like so like there's not much chemistry between everyone there. It just kind of feels like it feels forced.
It was. I think it was the cast because Chris Evans was not made for. Who he played the Human Torch, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't
thought
think
they
he was made for that role.
I thought they were somewhat good for what they were given, but like the execution is just not good.
And then speaking of the X-Men, what did you guys did you guys see the Dark Phoenix movie?
I saw it.
Was it good? I've heard a lot of people say it was bad.
It wasn't. It was kind of just there in the background.
It wasn't a good conclusion in my opinion. Because the thing is with like the newer X-Men movies with like say like Future Class, Days of Future Past. For me personally, I haven't seen Logan yet, but the best X-Men film has definitely been Days of Future Past. Future Past. Because like that kind of connected both like like the original X-Men and then like the newer trilogy, like newer like movies.
Mm-hmm.
But like with like the problem with like the newer X-Men movies world is the problem that they pushed a character that's like not as mainstream as like Wolverine and stuff like that. They pushed Jennifer Lawrence's character just because she's Jennifer Lawrence, not as the character, and that's the problem I had with it.
I know you guys don't watch Rick and Morty, but going back to the newer movies that are coming out, I saw that the writers of Rick and Morty are going to be writing or rewriting the script for the new Doctor Strange movie.
Oh yeah, because I know they have the guy that did the original Spider-Man movies onto it too, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I did like the old Spider-Man films. I haven't seen 3 because I've only seen the cringy stuff we see on YouTube. But like the original trilogy is good. I haven't seen the Amazing Spider-Man, and see my problem with MCU Spider-Man is the fact that he's not really Spider-Man as much as he is Tony Stark Jr. And most of his characters.
You go.
It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
It's like the entire Spider-Man character in the MCU was completely built off of Tony Stark, and that's the annoying thing. He's not his own character. He's literally...
he was. We were first introduced to him in was it Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he was talking with Tony at first, so we didn't get to see him as Spider-Man. When we were introduced to him, we got to see him as Peter Parker talking to Tony Stark. So
yeah,
it's not really like, But in my opinion, I think he is one of the better Spider-Man, or like he's one of the best Spider-Mans.
best portrayal.
Yeah,
Portrayal.
yeah, portrayal of
Also, plus with
Spider-Man.
him like looking young, it kind of adds to it.
Yeah, yeah,
He's 20, but we can believe he's like 15.
yeah. Yeah. What about?
I don't like his character. I'll be honest, because originally his character, like you said, it's built on Tony Stark. It's not like in the original, he was bit by a spider and some genetics went into him.
Yeah,
That's what gave him his powers, not all this technology and stuff like that.
yeah. That. Yeah. Now that you bring that up, that does kind of take away from the story of Spider-Man.
But I think one thing the MCU did good is the fact that we didn't have to sit through another Spider-Man origin story because we've seen it so many times that we don't really need to
Uncle
see
Ben.
it. Yeah, because they've definitely alluded to it multiple they've alluded to especially in Civil War they alluded to like his origin story, but like again having to sit through it would just be tiresome.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What about what was I gonna say? It was something. Oh yeah, the what would you guys think of a live action Spider-Verse movie?
Hell, no.
I'd be down. It just like they can't just do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, they gotta be passionate, I guess, about making it. Cause I know in the Spider-Man game, I know that's the way different from a movie, but he the Miles Morales in that one. It wasn't too bad, but it was just it didn't feel like Miles Morales.
Yeah, because he was just kind of a side plot.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Austin. Um, but yeah. There was another one. Oh yeah, the new Captain Marvel movie.
I'm excited for that, to be honest. I did like the original Captain Marvel. It's just like I feel like people are so quick to judge that movie because of like all the drama with Brie Larson. Like everyone's like pretty much gunning for her. Just stupid.
There was what would you like to see a new Avengers movie like the new Avengers titled The New Avengers?
Yeah, I would, but that one has to like it kind of since like we already have like the Infinity Saga, and that's solely based on like the original Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
We have to build up to that again. We can't just like throw it because like considering like all the movies we're getting now with like like this year they're introducing the Eternals, which will definitely be a breath of fresh air. And then next year we'll have Doctor Strange and Shang-Chi. Especially with like the Disney Plus shows, we'll get like kind of like
WandaVision. There's the
Hawkeye.
Falcon. Yeah, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think it's called.
Yeah,
Hawkeye,
I think that one
like
comes. I think that one comes out this year too. I could be wrong.
It might come out this year. I think, if I remember correctly. I think WandaVision is also coming out this year, but I'm not too good with those dates.
Yeah, they're like I'm pretty sure they're like later this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to wait for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're developing new characters, and that'll lead to like their oown saga. Like the end. So from what I've heard, like phase 4 won't be as long as like the other phases have, because like phase 1 was just Iron Man to the 2012 Avengers, and that was only like 3 years, and then we get phase 3 being the longest, obviously from 2016 to 2019, but like phase 4 will only last like maybe like 1 or 2 years, and I think that's kind of good because it has to slowly build up to something else. They can't just shove everything down our throats.
Yeah, definitely.
Expect us to like it right away.
Okay. Is anything else, like any other movies? I know Moon Knight is out there somewhere.
Yeah,
but I don't know a whole lot about that.
Moon Knight, from what I've heard, he's a very complex character, and it's kind of good that they're giving him a show instead of a movie, because he's in a sense he's kind of Marvel's Batman, with like his accessories and whatnot. But he's also like split personality. So like, giving him like a 2-hour movie would kind of diminish the character, because we need to because his character is so complex that we need to have time to actually take in what he's about.
Yeah. Like you said before, a 2-hour movie would that would just make it harder to uh digest, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because like his character is so complex that like we need time.
Yeah, can't just be shoving it down our throats.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another one called The Blade or something?
Yeah, Blade. A lot of people are kind of upset that it's not the original guy, Wesley Snipes. At the same time, he's getting too old for this kind of role.
Yeah, you can never force somebody that's too old for to be an actor to play a role that they're not suited to play.
See, I haven't seen the original Blade trilogy, so I can't really say anything. But like the new guy that is playing Blade, he is freaking talented. He has played in a Marvel show before, but like at the like Marvel Studios is very different from like the actual like TV shows that are like Netflix and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with Disney Plus, that'll be connected to the MCU, but with like the shows on Netflix and whatnot, they're connected, but at the same time, they're not. Like the Netflix shows have like they've mentioned like the attack on New York and whatnot, but they're kind of their own standalone thing, and they're not really connected.
Yeah.
Which I think is it's like they need like proper cooperation to actually make that work. Because I definitely do want to see like some characters into the movies, especially with like Spider-Man 3. Daredevil, like since he's a lawyer, it'd be so freaking awesome to actually see them together in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Daredevil. Like season 3 was definitely hands down the best season. I'm not sure if you watched it, but
No, I didn't watch it.
So I'm not gonna spoil anything. But season like it was just so like the entire show Daredevil was actually probably the one of the best TV shows I've ever actually seen. And I've seen a lot of the Marvel TV shows, so I'm a big MCU nerd. Let's just put that out there. I talk about it a lot, and
Oh.
and yeah. So like with Blade, honestly excited for that because it would kind of give people because like the original Blade movies were rated R, and so Disney might make them PG-13. So it'd be kind of interesting how they take his character and actually put him in like a PG-13 world.
Yeah. You mentioned who was like the Batman? Was it Moon Knight? Right? Was like the Batman of the MCU.
Yeah.
What did you think about? Did you see the Morbius trailer?
I did, yeah.
What did you think about it?
I feel like I think it's kind of stupid to give him his own standalone because from like Morbius is kind of like a Blade and kind of a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
So,
you did see the wasn't there like a graffiti of the Spider-Man PS4 game? I think was on the wall in that
there
trailer.
was a graffiti of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, I believe.
Yeah, and it had like the word murder written on it or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I thought that the trailer was kind of weird. I don't think I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's nice that Jared Leto's getting a redemption movie.
Yeah, after
from his Suicide Squad role.
just kind of diminished him.
He definitely did not play Joker well in that movie.
Yeah. See, the thing is too with the DC movies too, they had a lot of studio interference involved with them. Like for example, Justice League. Justice League probably wouldn't have sucked if Warner Brothers hadn't just completely tried to rush the movie to get it released. Because at Comic-Con at the time in July of 2017, in November 2017 was when it was supposed to come out. They did reshoots, and like they didn't have the original director that actually did direct Justice League on there. They had Joss Whedon, who actually also directed the first two Avengers movies, and he also had studio interference when it came to Age of Ultron. That's why it wasn't as good as like the other movies. But like Warner Brothers like just tends to like just interfere too much in the DC movies, and that's why most of them end up sucking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can never rush a movie. You can't rush anything. You can't rush a movie. You can't rush a game. You can't rush a TV show. Like, if you rush any one of those three, it comes out bad.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones season 8, which everyone hated.
Yeah, I definitely can, definitely know about that. Yeah. I heard, like the Netflix shows, you mentioned those earlier. this is completely off topic from any of these universes that we've been talking about, but apparently Squidward's getting his own Netflix spinoff.
What the? Really?
So I don't know how that's gonna play out. I feel like it might be boring if I'm being honest, because all the scenes you see of Squidward and SpongeBob, not really that interesting, if I'm being honest.
Squidward is built off SpongeBob and all the other characters on there.
Yeah. He wants to be left alone. He wants to be left alone.
Giving Squidward his own show was like giving Joey his own show, which has happened from Friends, but like it's just weird. Like you really can't have like a goofy, like, not really goofy, but like a character like that be standalone.
Yeah, it's not gonna do well.
Especially if it's so reliant on the other characters too.
Yeah. Anything else you can think of that we haven't touched on?
I mean, not really.
Oh, you know what? The new Batman movie.
Oh yeah.
Being directed by the dude that played the vampire in the Twilight series, I think, right? Or is he playing the Batman?
He's playing the Batman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the movie is literally called The Batman, so I heard Jonas, what's his name again? Jonas, I can't remember, but Jonah Hill, I think his name is, actually. But I heard he was being like casted into, or people were thinking about him being casted into the Batman movie, and everybody was joking that he'd be the Penguin because of his weight. But and then later he got like he wasn't being looked at anymore for a role, so but
I mean,
I wonder who's gonna...
It's gonna be a thing.
I wonder who's gonna play the Joker in that movie, because I know we have Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly, but Joaquin Phoenix. All right. I know he played the newest Joker, which ended up being a hit. I heard like one person said it was a fucking masterpiece. A lot of people liked it. Didn't he receive an Oscar for it?
Yeah, he won an Oscar and a Golden Globe.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'd definitely be down to. But we'll have to see, because maybe he'll play the new Joker in the Batman. But we'll have to see.
See, I think I did see Joker and I absolutely loved it. And one thing I like, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers for you, but the best part about Joker is the fact that there's not like action every 10 seconds. It's more like a slower paced movie to kind of like, because it is his own standalone movie, so it's kind of like it is his origin story, and it's very different than from like how he is in the comics. Like from what I heard, he like fell into acid or something, and that's what made him insane.
Yeah.
And like it's a different take.
In that movie, he's like hated by society, or so he's picked on by society, and it makes him insane or whatever.
Yeah, society. See, people. I feel like a lot of people that don't like the movie don't get the full message of the movie. Is the fact that like society can somewhat make people this way. Like if you treat someone
can manipulate you into becoming a worse person than you are.
Yeah, because like if you treat someone like trash, they're probably gonna end up like going in. Like if a whole bunch of people start treating one person like trash, it'll lead them to like a
big impact on them. They're gonna start thinking they actually are trash, and I feel like society is a more plausible reason for him, like falling into a vat of acid and turning insane. That doesn't really make any sense. But society, like treating you like trash and all that makes more sense than obviously falling in acid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
and back to the Batman real quick. I don't think, for me personally, I don't think Joaquin Phoenix will be up to doing like a contractual type thing. I don't think he'd be down for like, because I know they're planning on making a Joker 2, which I think is the stupidest decision ever.
I heard I heard he didn't want to do a Joker 2.
Yeah, because like that's like if you once you see the movie, it doesn't need a sequel because it gives us the perfect origin story for Joker, and like, well, in the sense it also kind of introduces Batman, but you'll see that whenever you see that. Because it's better at, like, not every movie nowadays needs a sequel, but the only reason it's getting a sequel is because of how much money it made.
Mm-hmm. Didn't it make
And
more than Endgame?
No,
Or did it
that's
make
no.
this? Did it make the same amount or something? I heard
It's
something about
it
it.
it got over $1 billion. Right now, it's the highest grossing rated R film.
Oh, okay.
We're not beating Endgame for a long time.
Yeah. I know they were set out to pass Avatar, which they did.
Yeah.
Um,
'Cause they like I think because they did like a re-release of Endgame, which I think was stupid because I knew right then and there that they were trying to beat Avatar.
yeah, they wanted to beat Avatar from the start. They were trying to.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to get Infinity War to pass Avatar, but they never did it. So obviously they had another opportunity with Endgame, and that did
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. It's like Disney. You already make so much money. How much more money do you need?
yeah.
Like
Um,
you have Disney Plus. You have all the movies. Like you make literally $1 billion almost every single movie you freaking release. How much more money do you need?
yeah. Well, back to the Joker. There's a couple things I did see in that left a big impact. Like I saw a couple scenes that might have left a big impact, like him shooting Maury. I know that's a
Yeah.
big spoiler, obviously, but
That when
Um,
I saw that in the theater, it's like,
that's a shock. That must be a shocking scene for everybody in the theater.
yeah, it was. My heart kind of stopped for a second because like, it was so sudden. Because I'm not. There's like he had a different intention than that. Like originally he was intending to do something else, but then when he actually got there, that became his true intention.
Mm. And then there was the I saw in the trailer. This wasn't like a scene I searched up on YouTube. I saw in the trailer. I saw I know I said that too much, but
Yeah, it's
uh,
fine.
Bruce Wayne and his family coming out of the movie theater. I feel like that makes a big impact because now you know that Joker was alive during during the time that Batman was a kid and his parents got killed.
Yeah.
So that technically means that Joker is older than Batman, then, right?
I think he always has been though. I could be wrong. I don't really know the Joker fully well in the comics,
Because
but
when I was younger, I thought they might have been like the same age, or when I was more of a fan of DC, I thought they might have been like the same age. But
yeah,
seeing the Joker or seeing that scene in the Joker, it just, I guess it kind of makes sense that he's older than Batman.
yeah. Especially because they definitely did a different because originally that's how Batman's parents did get killed, but they definitely did it. They did a good way of doing it so that way it fits the way the film was going.
Yeah, and then there's other scenes like that aren't a part of the Joker. They're part of like the older Batman movies that show the Joker is the one killing his parents. But I feel like that it's better if it's not the Joker killing his parents. I feel like it's better if it's somebody else, like a random person, like a mugger
Yeah.
or whatever. You'd
Yeah,
say.
because it's different from like, the Joker in the way they did it in Batman versus Superman. Like I think like a mob guy or whatever. I don't know, but in like Batman versus Superman, like maybe like a mafia guy like killed him or something.
Yeah,
They never really showed the guy though.
yeah. And then speaking of Batman versus Superman, the dude that played Lex Luthor in that movie, what was his name? Do you remember?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. I don't feel like he was cut out to play Lex Luthor.
No, because from what I heard, he originally thought he was gonna play the Riddler, not Lex Luthor.
That would make more sense than playing Lex Luthor.
It would.
I feel like Lex Luthor is older than the Riddler, so he would have a better role as the Riddler than Lex Luthor. I can't talk, but they probably would have been a better movie if they got somebody else to play Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And then
And
maybe they
maybe if
had a Riddler, like the post-credit scene with the Riddler, maybe.
Yeah. But see, when they like before like Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was like before like Aquaman and whatnot. That's when like they first introduced like the post credit scenes because originally like Man of Steel and like Batman vs Superman they didn't have any post-credit scenes, and then Suicide Squad came out, and that's when they added more. That's
Post-credit
when they
scene.
added the credit scenes. Yeah.
Speaking of Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. I heard they're rebooting that movie. I
Yeah,
actually
but
heard that a bunch of time or a long time ago, but thought I'd bring it up.
I feel like after like, because again with Suicide Squad, most of like Jared Leto's Joker scenes were actually cut from the film.
Let's be glad that happened because he was a terrible Joker.
He was. It's no offense
What
to
was
Jared.
his laugh? Like he wasn't even laughing. That sounded like a dying crow.
Yeah, it did.
And then he's like, he's a freaking he's an insane person. He's not a mob boss or anything like that. And you got tattoos all over his body. He's got slick back hair. He's got silver teeth. But he's not a mob boss. He's a freaking insane person.
Yeah. See, the funny thing is too, I went to go see Birds of Prey. The villain in that movie is more Joker-esque than actual Suicide Squad's Joker, and it's hilarious. Yeah, with like the new Suicide Squad, I'm actually kind of excited for that. They got a lot of big names in that movie too.
Yeah, I don't think if I remember correctly, I think they're getting Idris Elba to play Deadshot. I don't know if they're bringing. I don't know if they're bringing. I don't think they're playing or they're bringing back Margot Robbie to play Harley Quinn.
Honestly, they should because I went to go see Birds of Prey. Obviously, she was meant to play Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she does a good job of playing Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I forget who are the other villains in Suicide Squad. I know there's Deadshot. There's Harley Quinn.
they had Captain Boomerang.
Oh yeah, Captain Boomer. He was a pretty good character. I liked his character.
I think her name was. I think it was Katana.
Katana.
Not sure.
There's the dude that had tattoos on his face. I forgot what his name was, but
El Diablo. I think.
oh yeah, El Diablo. He wasn't a bad character either.
The dude that actually played El Diablo, he actually had to shave all of his eyebrows off for that.
Hmm.
The funny thing is with Jared Leto's Joker, is like he went full method behind the scenes and it didn't do well.
Yeah. He
'Cause,
did.
like-
He was not cut out to play the Joker.
It wasn't. Especially after like Heath. I haven't seen like Heath Ledger's Heath Ledger.
Hey,
Heath
Ledger.
Heath's Joker, but like from what everyone's been saying, like he's been like the best depiction of Joker. And then after me seeing Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, it's like holy crap, that is like that for me personally, that is the best Joker depiction because like it's different and like his laugh makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like when you see the movie too, it'll make more sense why he laughs like that.
Like I know, especially Joaquin Phoenix. He dedicated the Oscar during his when he was up on the stage. He dedicated his Oscar to Heath Ledger, saying that it was like this never would have happened without without Heath Ledger or something like that. But if the newer actor praises the older actor, it's a big impact.
Yeah.
But,
But like again, rest in peace, Heath Ledger. But like what I heard, like, cause like he I think he went method for that too, but I'm not sure. But like he had taken drugs during that, and that's ultimately what's like led to his death, unfortunately.
He definitely did depict Joker in such a way that it wasn't too mob bossy. I don't think it was mob bossy at all. He was just trying to play him like he was an insane person, but also like he had some common sense. If you know what if you know what I mean. Like not common sense, but like he acted like a normal person, but he still acted like he was insane.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Dark Knight movies, which that's my bad because like if it was on Netflix or like on TV, I'd watch it, but I just haven't had the time. But like, yeah, I think the best thing about like how was I gonna say? I feel like the best thing about like, because like the thing with the Joker, people try so hard to actually like make that, because like with the way Joker is in like the comics and like the way like the cartoons and the way he's like fully depicted as, people have to like pretty much become a different person just to be that role, and people have to commit to that role. And I feel like Joaquin and Heath Ledger did that. Jared also committed, but like it wasn't good.
I guess now that I'm thinking about it more, Heath, or not Heath, but Jared, he kind of had to act like that, or he had to make the Joker act like that in that movie, because the whole Suicide Squad was kind of like, it was kind of like a messed up mob boss kind of squad.
Yeah.
So he kind of had to act like that, but still, it wasn't a really good Joker.
Yeah. I feel like the Suicide Squad as a whole was not. I personally did like it. It could have been way better.
Yeah, it definitely could have been way better.
It's just like studio interference killed that movie, and that also killed Justice League.
I know there was a samurai. Wasn't there a samurai movie, a samurai Batman movie?
Yeah.
Or anime, whatever you want to call it.
It was Batman Ninja, I think.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but I've seen a couple of scenes. It looks pretty okay, pretty all right.
Yeah, DC animated movies are just sometimes kind of weird, but interesting kind of.
Any movies or any anime movies or anime in general by studios that don't make anime is definitely kind of weird. But yeah. Anything else you have in mind that you want to talk about?
Nothing I can.
We've been going on for how many minutes now? 42 minutes.
Hey,
I definitely did not expect to go 42 minutes talking about MCU, but or the DC even, but
movies, man.
Definitely. So I'd like to thank all of our watchers or listeners for listening into the first episode of the podcast. Let me know what you guys think of it. Anything you want to say before we go?
I just hope everyone has a good day. Thank you again. Thank you for listening or watching, whatever you have to do. If you just had this as background noise, whatever, at least you actually listened.
Yeah. So have a good day, obviously. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.